We have a nice little place, beautiful place for the children, and playground, and lots of places for the dogs to run, and
On the island.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah,
I've
it's
never gone
beautiful
past
place.
Weaverville.
Huh?
I've never gone past Weaverville.
Since how long you been here?
He goes to Weaverville every day to work. He works there.
How long have I been here?
He works out off the Marshall bypass too. Right. I mean, almost that far from where I live. He on Monticello Road. He works at the Sonopress plant. It's nothing from the Sonopress plant to the.
To Marshall's, 15
Marshall.
minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Geez, where am I? I mean, like, I don't experience anything.
You don't work on Sunday.
You work.
Do you? Do they close on Sunday or they?
They're probably
Hispanics
open
work.
this Sunday. I worked last Sunday. They got something big happening right now, so.
You working a lot of overtime?
Not a lot, but it's
Sometimes.
available. Yeah, it's.
That was when the New York
Things are
Times
changing.
was saying that a lot of what's happening is in the country and the economy is that a lot of places that were working overtime and things have really cut back
Most of
their
things-
overtime and cut back the hours of the employees.
They've
and-
changed the whole schedule, well, now the
Sonopress?
company's, yeah, well, now it's Arvado, so it's part of a bigger part of Bertelsmann, so things have changed. I mean, everything's changed. Work ethics have changed. Times have changed. You know,
Come gather round.
It's-
Do you know that tune? Come gathering children wherever you roam.
Yeah.
You know that? Do you know the words?
I don't know the words. I mean,
Yeah,
I know them
we
when I
we
hear
threatened
them.
to sing that, and I said I would get the words to that because we need to sing that song. That's a good one.
The times they are
change
changing.
and, yeah, we need to do those cue cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Or the bouncing ball. Can you do that? And then we could sing along.
Yeah.
The audience
What
can
was the
sing
song?
along.
What was the song? In the movie was "Don't Look Back."
I haven't seen it yet. Everybody's telling me that it's got nothing to do with Bob.
No. There's a movie. No.
Oh.
It had everything to do with Bob Dylan. It was Bob
I mean,
Dylan's.
he wasn't. Was
Bob Dylan's first movie. I hitchhiked from Chapel Hill to Durham to see it in the '60s,
No kidding.
he? Okay.
and it was called name of the movie was "Don't Look Back," and that's where there's a commercial now where they're
Right,
doing
right,
the
right.
cue
Everybody's-
and stuff
yeah.
like that. But it came originally it was Bob Dylan, and he was held in the words of the song, and I can't remember which song it was. Do you
yeah.
know the?
Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Was it?
Right, okay.
That was always
Johnny's
my
in the
favorite.
basement mixing up the
That's
medicine.
it.
Yes.
Right.
I'm on the pavement thinking about to go, man.
Man in the trench coat.
Said he
wants-
got laid off. Said he got a bad cough. Wants to get it paid off.
Look out, kid! It's something you did.
God knows when, but you did it again.
So I take it you guys like those cupcakes the best?
They're going pretty good, aren't they?
Like that.
There's only
Looks
two
like
left.
it. Yeah.
Let me have some of the other things there. I think that's good.
Who knows? Yep, maybe another Bob
Okay.
Dylan.
That photo was when I bumped into it. I was at a cemetery and there was something around my face and I thought it was a mosquito, so I'm going like this. And I had bumped it and it was like, ooh, big mosquito, okay, I'm leaving. Because I was taking, there was 2 tombstones surrounded by a wrought iron fence, and it was a neat picture. So I had seen a dark shadow earlier, so I knew that there was activity there. So I went down towards where I had seen it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get a picture of it from this side. So I stopped and turned around. I had my camera up here, and when I turned around, it was like, bam.
Wow.
Just like bumping into a person, and that was the photo.
That's it.
So when you have physical contact with it, you have no doubt. I mean, there was nothing there.
Uh-huh.
But I bumped into something. Something was in physical form that felt, like another person. Interesting, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
Looks
pretty
like my
good.
pictures I brought back from the Pink Floyd concert.
They were
I
all,
went to Pink Floyd and I was.
And you had a bunch of white things going through it?
Uh-huh.
Those were entities. The more linear is more, and then you figure those who went to that concert were in an altered state. Most likely.
Pink Floyd, yeah,
Th-
absolutely.
Right.
There might have
I
been,
guarantee
there
you.
might have been an altered state in the crowd.
Okay, so entities are more likely to attach to people who alter their, what spirit do you put in you? Yeah, I have a couple of photos of entities attached to my son. We were at the ocean watching the space shuttle, so the background is black. There's nothing in behind him except for ocean, and there's red and orange and yellow entities that are attached to him. Yeah, I know he would have gone to jail that night.
Anyway, so I went to the Pink Floyd.
I know. What can I say? You know,
What can you say?
this is my normal.
I went to the Pink Floyd concert and I took pictures, but my seat was not very close, so I had to use a very extreme telephoto lens. And I sneaked the camera in, so I really couldn't set up a tripod and stuff. And there was just no way I could hold all this still enough. And so I got a lot of just very blurry lights and colors.
Oh, okay. So some of
and-
the lights were okay.
And it was all very colorful and stuff. And I liked the photos very much. They looked so cool. So that I put them in my photo album. And I used to take hundreds of photos, and so I had photo albums that had hundreds of them and stuff like that. And I would always make my friends look at my photos. And so one day I had a friend flipping through the photos, and they got to the page that was this 2 pages of just all these weird colors and streaks and stuff. And they looked and they said, "What's this?" And I said, "Oh, it was the Pink Floyd show." And they go, "Oh." That makes total sense. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's how I remembered it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like I went to see them in Miami, not saying that I actually remember.
You went in Miami?
Down at the Orange Bowl, way back in the 70s.
Where is the Rose Bowl? Is that in California?
California.
Yeah,
Yep,
I think.
it is.
Okay.
Maybe it
Absolutely.
was the Orange Bowl. I think it was. I don't know. It was somewhere down in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That one down there. I don't know.
Well, that would be Orange Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Miami,
All right.
that
Yeah,
would
you would
seem-
know. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they grow oranges in Miami. I mean, in Florida. So Orange Bowl makes sense to me.
But I didn't know if that was or if there was one up around Orlando. But
And, well, I don't know. Maybe so. That
well,
would-
wait a minute.
but-
That's Citrus Bowl.
Oh, I don't know.
Am I right?
I don't know. I didn't even know that Orange Bowl was in Miami, and I lived in Miami for years, so I don't know. But I didn't go.
Yeah, right to the west of 95 downtown Miami.
But how long has it been there?
Long time. I mean, that was back in the 70s when I
Okay.
went there.
Okay. See, I moved out in 1980. A lot has changed since I moved out.
Oh, it's I wouldn't want to live there anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's what the last year 1979. One on the street that I lived on.
I bet it was nice at that time.
Oh, it was.
It
It was
it
way
was
back.
from the
yeah.
from the 60s on
Every
up to
place
the
was nice
70s.
back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But in 1969, one house on our
Come in.
street. Come on in. How you?
I'm bearing gifts.
You are okay. Well, there's a seat.
Ooh.
Okay. These are
Everybody
treats for
sounds
everyone.
very-
Okay. Now here's the deal. Anyway, I lived on the street I lived on down at the one end of the street. One of the houses on the street put bars up on their windows and bars up on their front door and all. It was all and we all kind of made fun of this of them putting bars up, and sort of moved that up into
Well, you know what?
that
Here.
corner up
Take
there.
that.
on the
I
tape.
wanted to match your silver motif.
Okay.
So
So-
there you go.
So what happened? So we made fun of them kind of putting bars up on the windows and doors and all. And this is the truth. By the end of that year, every house on the street had bars
bars.
on the windows and bars on the doors. That's how fast things changed.
And it was like, what do they do when there's a fire and they can't get out? I mean, yeah, okay, you're gonna put bars on to keep people out, but if there's a fire, isn't that gonna trap you?
What are these things you've put there?
Oh, are those garnet?
Those
Or-
are actual dried Bing cherries covered with chocolate and a nice candy coating. These are like the best candy in the universe.
Well, let me.
Really? The best candy in the
one of the
universe?
best candy, the best candy in the universe.
The best candy on the table, that's
Yeah,
for
it's like,
sure.
okay,
Best
let me-
candy on
me
the
too.
Yeah, we can pass them, would you?
I'll have a little one.
3 or 9
I'm
of
about
them?
sugared out, man.
I
Yeah.
Well, I won't sleep for a
Look,
week.
do you like the way I matched your silver
Uh-huh.
motif there? I mean, you know?
Now tell us
Now
your,
we have to start drinking with our fingers out.
tell us your name and what has possessed you to show up with these cherries.
You know what? I've been watching the show, and I just decided that, you know, I would throw my little. And look at this, you got plenty of food today. It's like.
No
wow.
salad, but lots of sugar.
Is there a clean cup in front of you?
This is just out of goodwill. Yes, there is.
Okay, just have some tea.
Well, the
Am I
cup-
really gonna have tea? Okay, I'll have tea. Beautiful.
Let's see, we have,
The blue
Oh,
pot
you're
is
the
ready.
mushroom man, aren't you?
I'm the mushroom man.
Do we have mushroom tea?
We don't have mushroom
No,
tea.
not right
Next time,
Oh.
I forgot about that. I'm absent-minded. I'm the absent-minded.
Sometimes we have mushrooms.
Push.
Mushroom man.
Let's see.
Sister Martha.
Thank you.
Is it all the same tea?
This one doesn't pour very well.
What's in here?
Oh, I see now.
China
Not always
black.
does that.
China black.
Right, right.
That's the best one. Here's cream.
Which is the best
There's
one?
some sugar. So you saw the mushroom tea show?
It's
I
all
think there were a
good.
couple, weren't there?
Yeah,
But
we
that-
had
no, go
mushroom
ahead and
tea
try
in a
that.
couple,
That's-
yeah.
that's
I'm
really
gonna start having some mushroom workshops out at my farm in Madison County.
So what's the consensus
Well, why
about the
don't you?
cherries?
Delicious.
Oh,
Oh,
delicious.
yeah.
That's
Absolutely
fantastic.
Awesome.
It's all a selection of the finest teas in the world. So it's all good.
When are you gonna come on the show and talk about mushrooms?
We can talk about it now if you want to.
Well, one of these days you have to come on my show and bring your mushrooms and all that kind
I
of
will. I'll have to have some mushroom. I'll have to absolutely get something together other than off the cuff. Bring some samples and a log and maybe some other stuff. I did just get my indoor operation restarted yesterday and today, so we'll see. I've been experimenting with that.
Try that. Do you like sugar in your, or sweeteners? Do you not like it straight? Okay.
I think I do. I don't know. I'll taste it.
Okay. I always put sweeteners in my teas.
No, this is excellent. What
That's
is
good.
this? What are we drinking? This is really good.
Right. It's better. It's even better than you thought, even though I had been bragging, wasn't it?
It's incredible. I didn't catch any of the.
Bragging?
No, I did not.
Oh,
Should I?
It's the
have?
same as it was last week.
I always brag. I
You
have
can
the.
brag again if
I
you
put
like.
I put the finest teas in
That's
the
why it's
world
great.
on this table.
Oh, of course. Well,
Pass,
that's.
pass that candy.
I,
I'm gonna get several this time. I'm not gonna wait.
they are yummy, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like
And you know
alright.
what?
Yeah, and what are they again? I mean, cherry and.
Cherry
Bing
and chocolate.
cherry.
Dried
Bing
Bing
cherry.
cherry,
Right.
chocolate candy coating, and you know what? They used to have them down at the Chocolate Fetish, and they've got every chocolate covered, you know, almond, raisin, I don't know, even rhubarb maybe. Oh, is this what we're drinking?
Mhm, With what you're having in that cup.
I really like this. And I couldn't get them there, they didn't have them. Chocolate Fetish no longer has my favorite treat in the universe.
And they can't get them anymore?
They could.
I don't know if they're going to, or if they will, or, I'm
They're
not really sure. Look,
The blue pot has this in it.
I brought a celebrity with me also, I brought Elton John.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that okay, to bring Elton?
Who
This is my
recently
little-
came out in favor of Hillary Clinton?
Is that correct?
Elton John?
Yeah, Britt,
Is that
I didn't.
hey, that Britt can keep his mouth shut. What?
I really don't know what all's there.
Who?
Elton John.
Came out in front of Hillary? He's British. He can't
Have you
even vote.
decided
Been
yet?
blown up.
Huh?
Have you decided who you're
No,
voting for?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Is it a plastic
No
bag?
problem.
No problem?
I'm a felon. I'm not allowed to vote.
But is
That
a
solves
plastic
it, doesn't
bag?
it?
That's
That
all
makes
the
it
way
real
out
simple.
on the
Yeah,
top.
hold on, Barack. I've got a Barack sticker on my car.
Do you-
Oh, yeah,
Like I said,
absolutely.
What did you
really
think
weird
about the
pictures.
debate?
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I didn't
how
watch
far
it.
we were.
I didn't want to hear Hillary talk, and I knew it would be banal and idiotic. I'm not interested
one,
in policies
I don't know
much.
what that is either.
I'm not interested in their policies because I can't make
I have
decisions
to go
about
back again and
policies,
see if there was something
whether they're
there.
good policies or not. Who
There's some other
knows?
pictures.
I don't, but if I want somebody who
So I
can
can-
give us a little hope,
I
and
make it
when the
thousands of
rough
dollars.
times are coming
Right.
or already here,
I've been
it'd be
taking
nice
my
to
life
have
and I
some
never
nice
knew until
looking,
somebody told
personable
me.
person that's got a nice smile and knows how to inspire people. That's all I'm interested in.
I would say
Yeah.
that's what half of what Barack Obama's got going for him is his
Demeanor.
his presence. His presence. And they
And he's
I'll show you
smart
more
too. There's no
sometime.
doubt about it. You know.
yeah, but they thought that Hillary was going to get the female vote, but no, Barack Obama's getting the female vote because the women think he's cute.
Boy, I have a friend who's
They're
not
gonna
even
vote for
talking.
him or Hillary. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's
he's
cute.
he's
They-
jewel. He's
The only
jewel.
reason I would vote for McCain is because I think his wife is absolutely hot. She's stunning.
Is that right?
She's
But
got lots of
I
money, too.
can't vote for McCain.
Because she's
not worth
a Republican.
There's a lot of good-looking
That's
women.
one reason.
What?
There's a long list of
See,
reasons.
Are you,
Yeah.
are you a felon as well? No. Nor can
Do I
I.
have to disclose that on air?
No, we all know it's online.
Great. Are you simulcasting on online?
Not now. Not
In the
now.
future.
You will in the
Hopefully
future.
in the not too distant future. I think it's the next step.
Is that right?
We've been promised video on demand, but I believe that we will probably be able to accomplish streaming first.
Right.
Streaming being what?
Being that you'll be able to go home and tune us in on your computer. Just go to a computer site that will, the same thing that shows on the TV set. Where you live, can you watch us at your house?
I can't, no.
But if you had a if you had
Yeah.
an internet, you could. If you had high speed
That'd be
internet,
cool. That'd be cool.
you could watch us on the high speed internet.
Yeah. More.
Who's bringing the cupcakes?
Oh, that
All the
was
time now,
the
that's-
glow lady
Glow lady.
brought. She made
Oh,
those.
yeah?
She made
Right
those.
on. Do they glow in the dark too, or?
No,
You eat 'em,
figured
you glow
if
in the
you-
dark.
we hope not. We've been
We'll
eating
find
them.
out afterwards.
Tomorrow.
That ought to be
No.
interesting.
And so
I have
did you,
visuals.
so did you catch that? And this is what's in the blue pot.
Okay.
Was this? You know.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I think this guy is like the happiest guy in the universe.
Oh, well, that's just because he looked.
I do for the show.
Oh, it is. No, I think you're like this all the time. I've come to the
Now
conclusion.
tell me again your name.
Michael B.
Michael B.
Yep. I even have my name on the bottom of this because if
Okay.
I can't stay for very long, so I figured I would just leave this
Are you
with
gonna
you.
run?
And
Okay.
then
Well,
I'll
what do you
collect
do,
it
Michael
at some
B? Are you a member of URTV?
Well, I had been.
Okay.
I haven't renewed.
I
yet.
see. Well, you need to get to it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You need to get to
I
it.
was one of the first
Were you?
members. Yeah, I think I joined in January 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Back when Kurt and let's see, Paul Snow
Paul
and
Snow.
Jen.
I'm sorry.
The tea. I'm just
Right here?
No, the box.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to clear the table so
Oh,
it
I
doesn't get
see.
too crowded.
Gotcha. And Jen.
Jen.
Uh-huh.
Jen Mass.
Put Elton's picture up so we can
Okay.
see him. Just
You wanna
prop him
see
up
Elton?
against.
Okay, I'll tell you the
Yeah.
truth. I actually
Now we have a famous guest at the
it's that camera.
Elton
that
for
camera.
high tea.
Yeah.
Elton for tea.
Okay.
So we've been staring at the back of my head the whole time. That
Pretty
must
much.
look lovely.
That's right. That's right.
How does the back of my head look?
Well, listen,
curly?
wait a minute. I can change.
Is it nice
that.
curly?
Curly, yeah.
I
Just
can
like the.
I can change that.
Yeah, I didn't go into hair and makeup first. Was I supposed to stop by?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
There
darn.
you go. Look
It's
at
next door.
now. Look at yourself. Now look at yourself on the TV.
No, I can't look at myself.
Oh, you can't look
No,
at yourself.
I can look at
All right, well,
yourself.
what do?
I'm a photographer.
Oh, you do. You're a photographer. Oh, well,
Yep.
that's good. We can use people with knowledge of photography. I'll assume that you do everything in the digital realm nowadays. Is that
I
true?
don't.
Do you use film?
I still do. I've done some recent work. I did some digital.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really interesting thing for me because I used many different cameras, disposable cameras, 35 millimeter, digital, Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it at Izzy's coming up in July.
Okay.
It's so different from anything I've ever done before,
Mm-hmm.
which I think makes it more adventurous for me. It's not indicative of the work I've always done, but I'm
Mhm.
willing to put it out there, and I'm just gonna see what happens.
Did you
You
see?
know?
Did you go become part of the Faces of Asheville or not? Did you?
You know, I know Jen, and she asked me a couple of times, and I don't like having my photograph.
She did a great job. I went down there the last
She's a
day.
really good girl.
The last day of it, I finally went down
Did
there.
you?
Yeah, because she is a great girl.
Yeah.
I absolutely second that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was it? She was here.
Uh-huh.
Who was doing a show, Faces of Asheville.
Faces of Asheville. She's gonna exhibit it. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the dates. I should be plugging it, but I don't. You know.
I don't know the dates either.
Yeah. But keep an eye open. It's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And there are lots of people, plenty of people that I know in the book. That's good enough for me.
And what is your favorite camera to shoot? I'm gonna swap photo things with. I'll tell you my favorite camera.
I have like 5
two.
cameras,
Okay, go
but
ahead.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I love Nikon. I prefer.
Okay, any particular model, new model Nikons?
No, I like the older.
Okay.
The simpler, the better.
Okay.
I don't really do anything automatic, but I have a 1963 Yashica.
Oh.
It has a great look to it. It's a beautiful camera.
60 screw mount? Is it interchangeable lenses or not?
Yes.
Okay, screw mount lenses then.
Yes.
Okay, right.
You know about that.
Oh yeah. That was my first.
My favorite one
I
was
think
the-
it was a what was it? A Yashica TL Super. What model is yours? It's not a TL Super, is it? I got a Yashica TL.
Yeah, it may be.
TL
That
Super.
sounds familiar.
Yashica TL Super was my first.
What happened to that?
I swapped it for a sheet of acid. Do you really want to know?
See, now imagine if you did that sheet and then took pictures. You could have really had something there.
Well,
That would've
I
been
got another camera. Then I turned around and got a Nikon F.
Oh, well,
you know.
okay.
Right.
After that, but my first 35mm camera was a Yashica TL Super. When I say 35mm, something where you had the mirror that flips up and all that fancy stuff.
That's an SLR.
A TL SLR. Right? My first SLR
Yeah.
was a Yashica TL Super. Well, go ahead. Okay. So you still have one that works.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's a quirky camera because there's a.
Has a light meter in it, right? Little light meter in the
Yeah.
viewfinder. Okay.
But it's a quirky little thing because there must be a leak in there
Oh,
somewhere
really?
because sometimes you will get, and I'm not sure about this, I think it may be a spiritual thing.
Oh, blooming. Huh? Okay.
Being
Sometimes-
Asheville and all.
It happens more in Asheville, yes, but not exclusive to Asheville. I don't travel with that camera anymore because it was a gift about 10 years ago, and I just carry it around because it looks really cool, and then I take.
Well, when
some
you get
pictures.
home, look at it and see if it just happens to be a Yashica TL Super.
I think that's exactly what it
If it is a Yashica TL Super, perhaps it's made the rounds. Perhaps it's the one I swapped off for the Yashica.
You never know.
Wouldn't that be something? No wonder
Does it have
does
a lot
that.
of vomit stains on it?
Oh no! It was when it passed my hands, it was pristine.
Yeah,
Pristine.
this one, you would think this camera is brand new just by looking at it. It's in phenomenal condition still. It's probably because I don't use it.
But it's like, mine was the TL Electro X, but the Prism always had a little rainbow wax thing in it.
Really.
That's how it came to me. And I've had that. I mean, that's always my favorite.
Yeah, a little
It
rainbow.
feels. That's my feel.
Him too. That was that sheet.
Well,
Right?
go ahead. What else do you shoot? I want to see what may be similar about cameras we
I'll
shoot.
bring him in.
Well, just tell
You
me.
can just look at my entire
Well,
collection.
okay. Well, let me just tell you. Okay, my favorite 35mm camera is the Canon A1.
Really?
Yeah, Canon A1 is my favorite 35mm, SLR, as you say, because it gives you everything in the viewfinder that you need to see, and it's just, to me, it's just such an easy camera to operate. And when they get wore out, they make a noise like no other camera makes that just sounds so cool.
I think people do that too when they get worn out.
They say the mirror
Start playing the
box.
slide.
They say the mirror box squeaks or shrieks on one, and it does. It makes a very mechanical noise that I like. That's one of the things I like about the camera.
And then what do you do with it? Do you
Well,
fix it?
yeah, then you have to lubricate the mirror box, the gears and stuff, and the noise goes away.
I've never used a Canon. I've never shot with a Canon.
Well, if you do,
It makes a noise.
Canon A1.
It's
That's
like the Tin Man.
and I have a Nikon now. I think I have two Nikons. I have an F, but the light meter is no good in it and stuff. And I have another Nikon, and I can't remember what the model of it is. All older Nikons all share the same lenses, and And my other favorite camera is I have a Speed Graphic Junior with a roll. You have a Speed Graphic?
No, I built a 4x5.
Okay, well I have a Junior, and I have a rollback for that that'll shoot 120 film, and I can get the rollback I have is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, which is an odd format, but I get 10 shots out of a roll. And you can also put on 2 1/4 by 3 1/4, but you only get 8 shots.
Right, yes.
So, but anyway, I like that. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I got
And
some film for an old Brownie with those dimensions, and it had 8 shots on it.
And I used to have a Yashica twin lens camera too.
You like that?
That's what I had between the. Yeah, I liked that. That's what I had between the Yashica TL Super and the Nikon F.
Right.
Between them, I had a twin lens, but I've had so many cameras. I've had a couple. I've had probably 3, 4, or 5 Nikons. I've had Olympus, OM1. I've had Minoltas. And I don't really care much for Minoltas. Just not really a fan of Minoltas.
The SRT 101 and 102s were my favorite out of Minolta.
Okay.
I mean, because they feel like they're part of you.
I don't mind the camera very much. I like the cameras. I don't care much for the Minolta lenses.
I like the Nikon lens. See, that's
I like the Nikon lens.
That's where the quality is.
And who does the Series 1? Vivitar. Vivitar Series 1 lenses. I bought, one time I swapped a Nikon and 3 lenses for the Nikon for one Vivitar Series lens. I was at a flea market and I was selling some cameras and stuff there, but I had the ones I was using with me, and this guy came by and he says, I have this really great lens. Look at this lens I've got, and I'll run to my car and get it. He ran to his car and he got this lens, and I snapped this lens on my camera, and it was on a Canon A1, and I just looked through the lens, and I focused on a couple of things, and I just turned to him and I said, here, I'll swap you this Nikon and 3 lenses for it, and he says, done. And I put that lens on my camera. I looked through it. I never took that lens off that camera. This lens is going home with me.
Is that a Japanese camera? Vivitar?
The lens Vivitar. I think so. They were at the time. I didn't even know about Vivitar Series 1 at the time, but Vivitar makes some fairly inexpensive camera equipment and stuff like that. But their Series 1 is the top of their line.
How far does that go back?
This was probably 20 years or more ago when I did this, and it turns out that at that I didn't know it, but then I started looking into it more because I like that lens so much, and I'm reading like reviews and stuff like that, and basically people were saying that Vivitar Series 1 was the finest glass coming out of Japan, so that it was actually beating out from glass coming out of Japan. It was beating the Nikkor lenses.
Wow.
So
I'm shocked.
yeah, I was shocked too.
Do you shoot digital at all now? Or just
Yes and no. I do not have a digital camera with a variable focus lens on it, if you will.
Right,
So
right.
I want one. But the digital, I can't afford the digital camera I want.
which one?
Well, there are several, but there's a like a Fuji that I like, which are
Like 12 megapixels?
no, I don't even care about hitting 12 megapixels. 6, 7, or 8 though is nice.
Right.
I'm looking at any of that 6, 7, 8ish range would be fine with me. I just want one with a nice piece of glass on the front of it.
Yeah.
And usually they come with some very, very small lenses, and some of them are some nice pieces of glass, but the more glass you've got up there, the more light it'll take in. The more light it takes in, the more light it has to work with, the better job it generally does.
You can't
It's all
fool
about
that.
light.
Huh?
All about light.
Yeah, you can't fool that, huh?
And by the time you get a decent sized piece of glass on the front of the camera, they cost more than I can afford.
Right.
And that's just the deal.
Gotcha. I understand that. Cameras are not necessarily inexpensive.
Mhm.
They can add up. I'll tell you what. I have it's not a still photography camera, but it's a 1975 Swiss Bolex Super 8mm camera. This thing, it's a beautiful camera. I love Bolex.
Right, the Bolex
We're
are
talking
nice
about
pieces
motion
of
pictures anyway, but
Mm-hmm.
this is a